Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So today in this video we are going to take a look at another aquarium filter, and this is the BluePet BLH 401 hang on the back filter. Now if you remember, a couple of months ago I reviewed this filter. This is the BluePet BLH 301 and this filter was a 3-watt filter, and this one that we bought today is the 4-watt filter. So this is how the filter looks, and at the back you can see other models available from the same model. BLH 402 is 6-watt, BLH 403 is 8-watt of filter. So there is not much about the box here. You can see the picture of the box, 4-watt written here. Let me just open the box and take a look at what we get inside the box. So inside there we get a couple of connectors, then we get the filter itself, and finally in the box we've got some literature which is not of much use to us. So let me just keep all these things aside for now and take the filter out. So here is the filter. As you can see, this is how it looks. It comes with a yellow sponge. The color is decent. Here is your lid which says BluePet. So let me just open this polythene as well. So inside there you will get a couple of connectors, some extension tubes, some skimming head connectors, and you will also get a small intake connector through which a small fish and a small shrimps will not be able to enter inside our filter. So if you take a look at the filter, you can see you've got small ridges here, 1, 2, 3. Filter is not very big. Inside there we've got a small yellow colored sponge. At the back we've got this small empty compartment where you can fill in this with your own filter media, such as some bio balls, maybe little pieces of ceramic rings. I will be adding a little bit of pumice stone which will help reduce the nutrient content in my tank. If you take a look at the wire and we take a look at the plug seems decent quality, 2-pin plug. Let me just open the wire and measure the length. So the wire is now open. So I've got a small tape measure here. Let me extend it. So as you can see, we're getting about 45 inches of wire length, almost close to 115 centimeters. So this is the length of the wire, which is decent. You should be able to plug this without any problem. Okay, so now let me show you how to assemble this filter together. The first thing that will go inside is this intake tube. This will fit in like there, just like that. Then we will insert our sponge, which will go here like that. Now we will take this extension tube, which will connect to this part, just like that. Then we will have our skimming connector, and as you can see in this filter, the skimming connector comes with a square shape, so you won't confuse it with any other connectors in the bag. So this will fit in like that. Once you have this part will go there. Then finally at the end we will connect this intake mesh, and to this part we will connect our skimming head, and finally we will put the lid back on, just like that. So this is how the assembly of the filter goes. Now to give you an idea how big the filter is, so that you'll be able to figure out whether this filter will fit on your tank or not, let us measure the filter as well. So if we start from the place where the filter will sit on top of your glass, if you measure it from here to the bottom, you will see the length of the filter is about 18 centimeters or 7.5 inches. You can always remove this extension to reduce the height of this filter. And if you measure the breadth, thickness of the filter, it is about 7 centimeters, a little smaller than 3 inches. If you measure the thickness is a little more than 1 inches. So that's pretty much about the measurement. Let's just put this filter in a tank and see how it works. Well guys, so let us put this filter on top of my tank. So as you can see, this is my 1.5 feet cube tank. I built this tank with about 8 millimeter of glass. This is my experiment tank, so I test different filters, heaters, and different combination of fish, whether they will live together or not. So this is what this tank is. Sometimes I use this tank to grow baby fish as well. In the last video, when I did the video of the BluePet 301 hang on the back filter, I showed you these betta fish babies, and they were very, very small back then. And look at them now. They have become much bigger than when you last saw them. Anyways, let's just put this filter on the top of this tank. So this is 8 millimeter glass. So let's see how well this fit in there. So as you can see, it is fitting really well, and there is plenty of space there to accommodate up till 10 millimeter of glass. If I use the second step of the filter, then I can easily accommodate up till 12 millimeter of glass. So there is that. So anyways, this is how the filter looks. Let me just plug this filter on and see how it works. So I'm going to plug this filter in. So the filter is now running, but it is not able to work because the pump in these types of filter is outside, and whenever the pump is outside, it doesn't have access to water. So these types of filters needs to be primed first. So to prime the filter, we need to add a little bit of water inside this compartment. So I'm going to take a cup of water and fill this compartment with some water. And now that it is filled, the pump is primed, you can see it is slowly sucking water in. Once it will reach in there, the filter will start working, the pump will have access to water, and the speed will increase, and the noise that we are hearing will also reduce. So as you can see, now the noise is reduced. Let me just put the lid back on so that we have a complete look. So this is how the filter looks when it is running. Let me just put back my skimming head. The skimming head is also on. So as you can see, it is making a little bit of indentation there, so it is sucking water through there. So if there is any floating material around this part, that will get sucked in through this tube, and then this will reach inside our filter. Because there is a small sponge, that floating particle will be trapped by the sponge, and only the filter water will be allowed to enter back inside our tank. And eventually this sponge will colonize some beneficial bacteria which will help clean this tank with some biological filtration. And the sponge will also act as a mechanical filtration, stopping some small leaves, some small particles, thereby cleaning your tank. So there is a small empty container in this filter which you can fill with your own filter media. I will be adding a little bit of couple of pumice stones which will help also with biological filtration, and also absorb some of the nutrients which will be produced by the waste of these so many fish inside this tank. Right. So one of the problem with these types of filter is that when these filters are running, they run fine, but when there is a power cut, because the pump is outside water, sometimes most of the water gets siphoned back inside our tank, and there is not enough water left for the pump to work on its own again. So every time there is a power cut, you have to fill this compartment again for the filter to work on its own. So let's just simulate a power cut. So I'm going to turn the power off. Power is now turned off. Filter is stopped working. So as you can see, the water level has reached there. Now I'm going to wait for a couple of seconds. Let's turn the filter back on and see if it is able to run on its own or not. So the filter is now running. As you can see, it is making a lot of noise, but I don't think it will be able to suck water on its own. So again, I'm going to take a little bit of water and fill this compartment there. You don't always have to take this lid out. If you use a small cup at an angle, some of the water will get inside, and that way you can prime the filter that way. So you can see the water is slowly reaching there, and now it is working fine. So yes, so this is a problem with these types of filters. Every time there is a power cut, you have to prime the filter all over again for these types of filter to start working again. Now at the moment the filter is running at full speed. So as you can see, this is the maximum flow of the filter. To reduce the flow of the filter, you can use this, and at the moment it is completely open. If I rotate this, you can see this is the lowest flow. It is almost nothing. If I rotate this back, this is the maximum flow. Well guys, so now to give you an idea how this filter will look on a small tank or a fish bowl or a small container just like this one. So as you can see, this is about 5-liter container, and I've put the filter on there, and as you can see, even despite the curve, it was able to fit in there just well. To the left of this, you will see this is the BluePet BLH 301 that I reviewed a couple of months ago, and it's still working, as you can see. And this is the Gurribuy BLH 401. it is working. In this tank I've got lots of some floaters, lots of guppy grass, and there's a small baby betta fish in there somewhere there. Anyways, this is how the filter will look if you were to put this on a fish bowl. This looks really nice. Okay guys, so now I've put both the filters side by side on this 1.5 feet tank, which is probably what this type of filters are designed for. So as you can see, this is the BluePet BLH 401. Let me put the box there, and here we have the BluePet BLH 301. So if you want to see how which one looks like what, this is how they look. BLH 301, 401. This is a little slimmer, this is a little bigger. Between these two, I think I like that one, but this is working so fine that I don't have any problem with this as well. The only problem with these types of filter is that every time there is a power cut, you have to fill that container up with some water for them to work all over again. And just so you know that this is still working, and there's a lot of build up on this sponge there. Now this is red root floaters. I was struggling with these for quite a while now. I've been able to kill them twice, but this time I had success. Now only thing left to do is make them turn really red, which is what I'm trying now. Anyways, this is how the filter looks on a 1.5 feet cube tank. So there we go. This was my video on this BluePet BLH 401 hang on the back filter. I hope you find this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.